Hey y'all, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Thursday, so that means Shades of Bravo. Today I have two guests that have become my real life friends. Maybe we've trauma bonded, I'm not sure. But welcome to the show, Brandy Howard and Julie Goldman. You know their podcast, Dumb Gay Everything? Dumb Gay Podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't decide. I knew you guys were changing it from Dumb Gay Politics, and it's like Dumb Gay Every Day. Dumb Gay Everything.
We did go through a few, we were trying to figure out what the name was. And then we settled on the Dumb Gay Podcast.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
We didn't want to change the initials, and we might have to go back to Dumb Gay Politics next year. Depends on what happens in the election. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some DC friends here that would love to come on and spout their opinion.
Great.
Oh yeah,
we'd love it.
Yeah,
Opinions.
yeah, the DC types. We all have opinions.
Good.
I do want to tell you guys something super exciting that happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
I had an interview, and you know when you interview these TLC people, almost always there's a PR person on, and sometimes you have to cut things out, or they're asking, "Can I say this?" or whatever. This person came on with no PR person, and I was like, "So tell me how much time we have," because usually they'll give you like a tight 30, and I was like, "Tell me how much time you have," and she's like, "I don't know, whatever, hour, two, whatever," and we talked for over an hour. And guess who it was?
Christine.
No, I'm not into Sister Wives.
Oh.
Well, she recommended Plathville to us, so I'm going to guess.
Fucking Kim.
Give me a break. You think I would talk to her? No, Olivia Plath.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. It was great.
Wow.
We talked about everything.
So are they divorced?
I believe they're in the divorce process. Yeah, he's in Minnesota. She's in LA living her hot girl single life.
Of course she is.
It was only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
So will they keep doing the show?
Yes.
She's going to keep doing it even though she has no relation to the Plaths.
Yeah. I think that she did not say this because obviously she can't. But my feeling that I got was they'll be filming about the whole divorce process. I mean, if you did a reality show about her family, it would be 20 seasons because her family is way worse.
Yeah.
But she's like, they didn't ask to be on TV. So, if I'm asked questions about them, I'll answer. But she's not going to but she has no relationship with anybody in her family except for Lydia, the sister that we saw in the last season.
Oh, Lydia Grace.
Yeah, I
Lydia
like
Grace.
that sister, yeah.
How Lydia exciting. Grace. Well, congratulations. That's great.
That's very cool.
That must have been very exciting.
I was beside myself. Because I was like, I'm just like, how long do you have? And I'm ready, And she was like, whatever, just easy breezy. Yeah.
And did you enjoy her?
I enjoyed her tremendously. And just the stuff that she's been through with her own stuff, with her own family, and then having to deal with these whack jobs.
Mm-hmm.
She grew up the same way. And Kim picked her out as a wife for Ethan when she was like 16. And they got married when they were 20.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
But she stayed very true to, she's moving forward. She's like, because I was asking her about their different, their different beliefs and what does that come down to? Because he kind of said on the show flat out, she doesn't respect God and country.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what does that mean? Does he think that if you have children, you're going to be teaching them witchcraft? Like what does it mean? And she said, I think that I just am, when my children are older, they can decide what they want to believe about religion. They don't have to be Christian. They may want to be atheist. They may be Buddhist. They may be nothing. She said, and I don't feel like I should tell my children, like, you're going to be a girl and do all these girl norms, or a boy and do all these boy norms. As they get older, they can decide their own sexuality and whatever. She said, and he wasn't raised that way. I wasn't raised that way. And he just doesn't believe in that. And you're going to have children, you have these fundamental differences. It's just never going to work, How
weird that he would do that or think that way. But I mean, you know what I mean? Especially after he got his whole life given to him by her and his whole freedom and his whole everything. And he got to live out his sexuality and he got to live out anything he wanted to because of her and being free. But no, that's not good for kids. That's fine.
But all of them have all kind of gone back. And I was like,
Yeah.
it is a literal description of a 360, not a 180. It's just gone right back to where you started.
Pretty interesting. Well, Micah will come out as gay, and then they can all start to go back again.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not in LA anymore. He's not in LA anymore.
We knew that wasn't going to last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did ask her though, because
where is he living?
She said Florida, so I don't know if that's.
I think he's in Miami. He said he was going to go to Miami.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and one's gayness at some point overtakes one's environment. So one will do what they need to do wherever they are. And I believe he will. And that whole family is going to be disrupted again. But Olivia will be in LA, and she'll be eating pistachios going, good luck to you, sir.
Yeah, it's really, and Ethan is still in Minnesota. That's
sure he is.
Hanging out there. It was fascinating. The stuff that she told me, off mic that had, was nothing to do with the show, about her own situation and with her family and everything is just so, she had a brother that died this year.
Oh, that's
right. Yeah. I mean, she's just had a lot of darkness, and she's really, I don't know, she's really sort of inspirational. And I asked her too, I said, I kind of thought, from my just opinion as a viewer, that maybe Ethan had a problem with you doing photography for gay weddings. Like maybe he just really, he could understand that a person might be gay, but he doesn't want to take it so far that they should be married.
Take pictures of it.
And you shouldn't photograph it.
Should not photograph a gay wedding.
Don't. That's showing your approval, I guess.
Jesus definitely doesn't like that.
Don't earn any money from your photography business.
No, don't.
And she said, that was a sticking point, about what I was doing in my business was being inclusive. And that was a sticking point. Yeah.
You can tell his politics started going in a certain direction. I'm glad that you told us to watch that show. And I'm glad that show is having any sort of success.
Mm-hmm.
Just simply because it really proves, next to Sister Wives, that you can be very, very repetitive and damn near boring and we're still going to be interested if it's interesting enough, I guess, subject matter. I want people to start getting away from the toxicity of Bravo. There's more out there than just what's going on.
There's the
Bravo.
Toxicity of TLC.
That's right.
I mean, come on now.
Super fucking toxic. And it's enjoyable. I mean, especially if you like a cult.
I don't think the fandom is as toxic as.
That's a very good point.
I think the fans probably are all sort of I don't know. I don't know for sure. Maybe 90 Day Fiancé, they're all divided, but I'm pretty sure you know who the weirdos are on 90 Day Fiancé and who the heroes are and who the stars are. But
Right.
Well, it always changes throughout the season. You're always like, oh my gosh, look at this cute little guy with a no neck. Oh, bless him. He should find love. And then you turn out he's like a super toxic asshole, telling women they smell bad and should shave their legs. I was like, you're lucky this 19-year-old girl will even talk to you on the computer,
It's really astounding a man's. That's where I'm just like, I don't know anything, because apparently this troll can. He has no appreciation, no gratitude for the fact that anyone will fuck him for 1 second.
I know. Big Ed and Angela were on this first ever season they had of the couples therapy couples retreat or whatever the hell it was called. And I was like, I'm not watching it because Big Ed's on there. I'm not watching it. And then Angela is crazy and she's abusive too. I was like, I'm not watching it. So I think that when they roll around for a next season on it, I'll be into it. But not with him on it. No,
you did enjoy that Russian lady, even though she's insane and abusive too. I have to say, I don't remember her name.
Was it Yara? Yara and Jovi? No. Oh, Anfisa?
I couldn't even tell you her name. Maybe there are a few of them. Maybe there are a few different Russians. It was like, I don't want to live on the farm.
Oh, Natalie.
Natalie. What about that other Russian who didn't live on the farm?
Oh, yeah. What was her do?
Star. With single life now.
Yes. But I don't know her name either. But also, she's a legend.
She's a legend.
Abusive. I mean, she's abusive for sure. But
I don't know. Well, Natalie was with Mike, and then he took her to this outskirts of Seattle, and then she was like, "I don't want to live in the wood."
Right.
And then she's like, "At night, I hear the thing screaming in the wood. What is it?" And then we were like,
"No." And
I think it's the foxes.
Yeah, it wasn't the.
She has the little girl.
Yeah.
No, she did not have a little girl. She never had kids.
And they are in Ukraine, and they go back to Ukraine, and she's like, I need to bring my daughter back to Ukraine because if I don't, we're going to be here. We're going to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck. I don't know.
We always watch like after the night. Like we watched all the, we don't even know which one.
And it's all about the reunions anyway, because that's where you really, for us, it's where you learn. We watched a couple of full shows, but then there's the lady who went to Africa. And
she had the slot machine in her living room.
And who is the one?
Son.
Who is
that's two different people. So you're thinking of Colt and Debbie, Mother Debbie. She had the slot machine.
Debbie.
She lives in Canada now with a real racist piece of shit. Right? Yeah.
And she would always insert herself like, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. You're like, how is this? And she's like, I have a new boyfriend now. Talk about, again, people always find each other. It's amazing. You can have no neck. You can be racist. You can have a chain smoking. Just, it doesn't even matter. There's someone out there for it. We should use that show, regardless of how you feel about those people, as an inspiration.
Yeah.
And remember that there is someone out there for you. And even if, no matter how bad you feel about yourself, there's someone waiting for you in the woods, in a trailer.
I just don't know why some of these people can't fail locally. Why do they have to fail globally?
You got to reach out. That's why you got to reach out. You got to.
Because people have never been 2 counties over, but like, I think I'm going to go to Zimbabwe. We're like, you've never had a passport, and now you're going there.
I don't get it either. I had a neighbor who turned out he met his wife in Thailand, and I was like, "What are you doing in Thailand? You went to Thailand to meet someone,
a wife, yeah.
Why? Why did you do that? Like, I don't. It's just, you don't need to do that unless.
Are they still married?
They are, and they have a kid.
Okay, how many years though?
That I don't know, okay. But I do know that like he now has to. It's just like the show. It's literally just like the show. Where he's trying to support 5,000 people.
Yep.
But he's okay with it because he gets a woman's vagina.
God. I can't believe I was like, who is she talking about? And then all of a sudden I just realized.
I mean,
yeah. Sometimes I had a cousin who, married a woman and was just supporting all the kids and the grandkids and everybody. I was like, they named the town after him, I think, because I thought he was the richest thing. Eventually he divorced her, but it was very hard. She was from the Philippines. It's very hard to get a divorce in the Philippines.
And don't get me wrong, I just want to be clear. It's not about meeting a person not of your country.
Yeah, not American.
It's about going out on apps specifically trying to find someone because I need to find someone from Thailand or Ukraine or somewhere.
Because they have to get with somebody who needs a green card.
Exactly.
Right. So, yeah. Well, that's why I asked how many years, because usually it's about 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's about the threshold, because 5 years you can get your citizenship. So it's usually about 4 years they kind of start that we're going to get divorce process, and then I
wonder.
Well, their kid was over 5 years old.
That's true. So maybe they've been. But he was talking about like we're maybe going to move back to Thailand and get like a compound, and I was like, I'm sure. Pay for. Good.
Yeah.
Good then.
Well, they'll be the richest people in that city. Yeah.
Yeah, and he gets to feel like a king. Which is what he probably wants.
Oh, God. Well, that's...
Yep.
Well, it's the same thing on the show, is that it's what we're saying is like, at the beginning, you're like, well, this just seems great. That's so wonderful. And then halfway through, you're like, oh, he's a total sex tourist. Or the person is coming over from another country, Ukraine or somewhere, and they are complete scamming. And you're like, oh, I don't want to say it, but definitely they are scamming. But also this person is so dumb. It's fine if you scam them.
Yeah, and that is part of the joy of the show. I do enjoy watching men get scammed, but and just like get it. But even some of the women, you're like, oh my God, I feel worse for the women. But there was the one lady who was like, she was smoking. She just was she was an icon.
It's Angela. I think of Angela and Michael.
Blonde extensions.
Yeah. She's had all the plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So she's so problematic and terrible.
Is that the smoke?
Yeah, she smokes. Yes. She's had like a gastric bypass, and then she's.
We're talking about the one that was in Vegas.
Yes, she goes out with her friends.
That's a different one.
Oh, okay, there's the one, the Russian or Ukrainian one, who's one thing.
Extensions.
Then there's the American one, who's she's probably she's over 60. She's at least, I think, she's big boobs and she's sluttish and smokes and
it's Angela.
That's Angela.
Yeah, and she married her husband in Nigeria. So
Yeah.
they're Nigerian married, but they're not American married because he cannot get him over here. They've tried so many times.
And then they say he
wonder why.
cheats on her.
Oh, yes,
Right.
Openly. She went over there where he lived, like flew over there as if it's a short trek to like tear his car apart with her bare hands. She's like ripping his bumper off, like, Michael, you better get out here. And she's like ripping it. And he's just like, what the fuck? I didn't even know you were in town. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, she deserves a medal. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well,
yeah. See? Yeah, I mean, you think she's great, but if you watched her and saw how like verbally abusive she is to him, you'd be like, she's horrible. She's horrible.
She is horrible.
Well, they all are.
They're all disgusting, but it's a joy.
Yeah, see? So I'm glad that you still find joy in TLC. That's my zone.
Of course.
Zone.
Yeah, no.
I mean, do you feel like the Bravo shows, though, have like, I don't want to say they've jumped the shark because that's like really doesn't apply. It's more just kind of like, we've seen it all. I don't know. I feel like it's like.
You mean every one of them? If I watch Miami, Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City,
Potomac.
Let's say New York, New Jersey, wherever, even Dubai. And I've never watched 1 second of Dubai because they can.
Me either.
But here's what's going to happen in every season. First, we're going to assume somebody's husband is cheating on someone and we're going to be mad that we're not being told about it. Then that's going to bleed into relationships. Now we're going to deal with relationships. Now we're going to go on dates. Now we're going to spice up our relationships. We have to spice up our marriages. My marriage is going to be said 5 million times. Yeah, we have to have date night. Guys, date night. Then we're going to do sexy photo shoot. We're going to have a sexy photo shoot. Got to give it to my husband. He loves it. He loves the way I look. Meanwhile, he's fucking 14 other people. We're going to have charity event. We're going to have the charity event. Don't fight at the charity event. We're going to have don't fight at my charity. Don't bring this up at my charity event. Then we're going to have a dinner. At the dinner, don't bring this up at my dinner. We're going to fight at the dinner. We're going to fight.
We're going to play a game.
We're going to play the game of course, who do you hate the most at the dinner?
Who would you throw off the covered wagon?
Or it's also sex games. We love sex games. We love
Where's the craziest place you had sex?
Right. When was the last time you gave a blowjob? Do you spit or swallow? Do you all the stuff? Anything that has to do with dicks, we have to deal with. Then
we're going to reveal someone's weird tax filings.
Tax filings, very important. We have tax evasion. We have tax corruption. We have money laundering. That's going to be across at least 3 out of the 7 franchises.
You're not wrong. I'm looking at all the franchises. I'm like, yep. And
we're concerned about is someone drinking too much?
Someone's
behavior, they're erratic.
Yep.
Are they on
drinking too much? And then
on their depression meds.
now we're going to drink too much. So now we have to go on a health journey. Now our health journey is working out. Now we have to work out. Now we have to lose weight. And of course, every single person, every one of them is now on Ozempic. So now whether it's Ozempic or Mounjaro or whatever it is, we're all on it. Now, of course, we're going to pretend that we're not. So we're going to go forward and we're going to say that we're not. We're just stopped drinking.
Obsessed with working out though.
Yeah. How did you lose 42 pounds in 2 weeks? I worked out a lot and I stopped drinking. Amazing. That's incredible.
Don't forget new faces, new boobs.
Plastic surgery. Let's not forget about that. Everyone on every show gets plastic surgery. We either show up with a new face,
new teeth,
new boobs, a new butt. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And those are going to be the things we're going to see on every single show. Every single one of them.
You're completely right. You're completely right. And I think that you should consider going back to work for Bravo because I think it's just
so boring. I feel like when I'm invested, I don't even like stupid Nicole on Miami. Mm-hmm. Do you know which one that is? Just black.
Oh yeah, the gorgeous doctor. Yeah, they're so rich. They're so rich. Like I can't even.
Why are they so rich?
Their tax filings being revealed. Where's their paperwork?
Where's their paperwork? She's an anesthesiologist. Okay, first of all, now they get paid a lot of money.
Yes,
not so much money that one has a yacht, 3 houses, and another yacht, and 14 Porsches. And a private jet.
They're so rich.
Is like a personal injury attorney or something. So let's say he makes a couple $1 million a year too. We're still.
They're grifters.
We're still being, something is amiss. They are not, unless they come from money and have an inheritance. I am going to predict he particularly is going to be exposed and
Someone
very
needs
soon.
to send her a framed photo of Erica Jane Girardi.
Seriously.
Okay? And be like, don't marry him. Do not marry your legacy to him, your name, your doctor money. Don't marry him. I mean, because
Do you think he wears those shirts with his name on it like every single day? His closet is just nothing but polo shirts with his personal injury ambulance chaser logo on it.
I mean, he's doing it for the show for sure. Every time he's on the show,
it's just like the agency, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And even Sweet James.
Oh God, Sweet James got exposed too.
Yeah, and
they all do. You cannot be that rich.
Leah Black's husband, who's a famous defense attorney, he told us that of all the lawyers, that personal injury attorneys nobody respects them. They're basically that it's impossible to get into that and not end up becoming corrupt because all the money goes into your account and they just start
using it.
The temptation is big not to, and even what's his face? Dolores' ex-husband, who we love.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Frank.
Yeah.
Yep. He fucked up too.
Disbarred.
Yep.
I know. That was terrible.
Terrible.
That was terrible. I forgot about that.
Using the money.
Using the funds.
Because they have the money. They get the settlement and it goes right to them.
We want to say bad about him because we do love Dolores. And we love him.
Yes.
We love their kids. But
yeah.
But it's like
he fucked up.
You can't with these,
But now they're on these shows and they're flaunting their wealth to the point where look what happened to Joe Giudice. No, he's not a personal injury attorney. He was committing fraud, and that's ultimately. I do not believe, and I'll take all the responsibility for it. I don't believe he's that rich unless they have inherited money. You are not making that much money. When you are
legally rich. They're clearly that rich.
Legally rich. I don't think he's legally that rich. I think until he owns even that, Tom Girardi wasn't that rich.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I only brought her up because I was going to say, and I don't even like her. I do think she's really pretty.
I like to look at her.
Yeah, she's really pretty.
So pretty to look at. Yeah.
I'm so bored with these storylines that I'm literally invested, and I'm like, I hope she kind of does have a baby so I can see what their baby's like and be with their baby. I'm more interested in her having a baby when that would be the boring storyline of 2012 or 2013. That now I'm just here well, all I really care about is if Nicole gets pregnant. I mean, I'm just so sick of all these other things. It's just
you were invested when Julia sang and learned opera. For her lesbian lover, Martina Navratilova,
y'all,
who was not invested in the most truest love story that America has ever seen.
Every time that came on, it was like glasses breaking. It was like it was so bad. I was asking Jake and Matt of Reality Gaze. I was asking Jake about it because he's a vocal coach. And I asked him if he saw it. I was like, I would love to hear your opinion of where she started and then where she got, which was nowhere. And he was like, no. He goes, we find the clip of it and send it to me. I was like, I think you'll be so offended as a vocal coach that he was like, okay, don't even send it to me. I'm so upset. He's like, what opera was it? I was like, I don't fucking know what opera it was. But the guy came in and he sang beautifully.
Julie didn't see. They found, I don't know if they filmed it or found it, but they had a clip of a huge tree with a swarm of birds exiting the tree. And I was off into my own head now did they film that or did they find it? And did they fire a gun to make the birds go? It was worth it because they couldn't resist. I'm surprised they didn't have full sliding glass doors shattering.
Listen, I like a stunt. We can get down with a stunt queen, do a stunt, fucking quad coming out the coffin. If you haven't seen it, one of the most genius things to ever happen across the board, ever on Bravo. The bitch came out of a coffin. However, Julia, it would have worked for me had she seen the humor in it. Then it would have worked for me. Had she been like, Martina loves opera. She thinks I'm annoying. I constantly get on her nerves. So I'm going to fucking go for her cancer-free party and I'm going to sing opera. And I'm going to show, that's to me would have been, I would have at least believed it. But this whole fucking thing of I'm learning opera because Martina loves opera, like, and Martina clearly,
So
I
they're
don't,
doing acting,
the
how much they
level,
love each
oh,
other.
the acting. I mean, Martina literally likes anyone more that she meets on the street than Julia. Okay, like I've never seen less chemistry, less of a people who just are not feeling it than these two. I mean, I'm sorry
Yeah, and
to say it, but
in the past, I felt like their storyline was how they were kind of trying to get it back. This was before Martina had cancer.
right.
And I was like, get what back? I don't even feel like you like each other.
It definitely doesn't do that. Now, Martina to me is a miserable asshole.
She's the one with no sense of humor.
I mean, she does not. She really does, and maybe it's because she was sick. So maybe, but that was for a few years ago. I really found myself not liking her at all, and I was really bummed out because she's she's a lesbian icon. But then,
it's just an icon. Period.
Icon. Period.
Yeah.
But of course, as somebody who came out, she's one of the first people to come out. She was very brave. She's been super courageous for people in the community and sporty, dykey, whatever. But then I'm like super disappointed.
Maybe she's also just like, I just don't want these cameras here. Like I've lived my whole life like this. Like now I got to marry somebody that wants to be on TV.
Or maybe it's a cultural thing.
Maybe it is.
She's like Eastern European.
That is true.
She's pretty cold. Yeah, just sort of like to the point. To the point. Yeah.
So then maybe that's what it is. She's like, I love you so much.
Let's go swimming.
Can you feel my chemistry for you? Yeah, maybe.
The goat poops on the floor.
Miami is it's not good though, is it?
Well, I started watching it because you guys bullied me into it because I'd never watched it at all. And you were like, what's wrong with you? So I watched the whole thing from the beginning. So I'm caught up. I still, and I said this to you last time I talked to you guys, I cannot get over because I watched it all together.
Yeah.
And there was the break that I didn't know about in my mind. I was like, somebody replaced Larsa with somebody else. I cannot get over the fact that that's the same person. I can't get past it.
When I tell you that we did that, that happened, I think, to everyone because when we watched it when it came back, it was like, I didn't even remember she was on the show before. That's how different it was. I was like, well, that person wasn't on the show before. But Leah would be like, no, Larsa was there. We'd be like, no, she wasn't. But that happened to us with, above all else, with besides Larsa, is with Margaret. Because we watched Jersey from the beginning, but we stopped before Margaret's. We watched all of Margaret's seasons in one fell swoop.
Oh,
and it was
right.
Like, girl, she had like 2 strands of pigtails like this.
Yes.
And look at her now. Like she looks like a different person. She has a different face, different teeth.
Yep.
Different body, different hair.
Yeah.
Like she did. I mean, she's not as drastic as Larsa.
But she definitely is a candidate for something where you're like, wow, I can do that. Like, she really made herself.
She leveled up.
She leveled up. She's one of the few, I would say, that has leveled up.
You guys know I love talking about Quince. You've got to go on Quince's site and see what I'm talking about. I just got in the mail today some new socks, some new underwear, and another cashmere sweater for my trip to Europe. They have everything, and everything I've gotten has been such amazing quality that I can't even believe this place exists. You can like make a capsule wardrobe. So if you're one of those people that thinks, hey, I should have 3 pair of black pants, 3 pair of khaki pants, and 4 perfect sweaters that I could throw on and will go for anything, this is the place for you. My dogs are barking, even they agree. Quince cuts out the middleman. As you know, they work only with the top factories, and they have that little chart that compares to other luxury brands, which I'm telling you, go to the bottom of whatever you're looking at. Look at those other brands, and I'm telling you, those are the exact same items, just Quince has them for so much less. I can't stress it to you enough. And I want you guys to DM me and tell me what you're getting. Somebody sent me the other day a picture of their daughter in some adorable Quince pajamas. And I was like, yes, I know that is great quality and so soft. So I want y'all to send me what you're getting as well. So like I said, this week I got the socks and the underwear and another cashmere sweater, and I'm living for it. So take the drama out of planning an outfit and upgrade your closet with Quince today. Go to quince.com/pinkshade. You're going to get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. And if you don't know how to spell it, it's QUINCE.com/pinkshade. You'll get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/pinkshade. Thanks. When I saw her at BravoCon, and I talked to her a couple of times, but the time I talked to her in like the Bravo Palooza room, she was in this like, plunging top, and she was smart because she sat on the back of a couch where everybody else was dumb and was standing. She was like, my feet hurt. Okay, I'm sitting. So I was like, you're smart. So people were going over where she was sitting, but the way her thing was cut, and she and I are about the same age. I was like, okay, well, my boobs don't look like that. So like, what's happening? And she was like, oh my gosh, she told me the name of her doctor. He's near here. She was like, he does the best boob work. And I was like, well, I've never had implants or anything. She doesn't matter. It'll fix you up. I was like, should I do that? No, who cares? But I couldn't quit like staring at what you're saying, like staring at her face, staring at her body. Like
her face looks great.
It's attainable.
We're doing her doctor.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing she did to her face. We're going to do. We're doing it.
She looks incredible.
Looks great.
It doesn't occur to me that she looks totally different because I watched it all the way through. Yeah. When they changed just a little each season.
That happened subtly for you. There was a point from one season when she got her teeth done where I just almost couldn't take it.
We're so used to the big teeth now that we're like,
yeah,
it's more shocking when people don't have those giant teeth.
I guess so.
They're
but
just really
it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I heard Ben and Ronnie say the other day that Kyle, shows up every season with a new face, which I don't really think so. I think she does small tweaks as well, and I think she looks incredible. But they were like, did you notice this season her face is Morgan's face? She put Morgan's face on her face. Now they have the same face. And then when you see them together, you're like, they are kind of starting to look alike, those two.
Yeah.
They are.
And that's pretty interesting because she's doing her makeup that way, or she's dressing like her 28-year-old best friend.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That looks very, very different than her first season. Very, very different.
It's a lot of the nose between the nose and the lip situation. Yeah. Because something just was on the other day. How you turn on Bravo and you're like, who's that? And it's 4 seasons ago. And it was Kyle. And she looked great. She was working out somewhere in a field. And I was like, that's Kyle, obviously. Like, I can see that it's Kyle. But it's just so hard to pinpoint what it is that is different. It's different, but what is it exactly?
Yeah. Well, she got that nose job when she got hit in the face during Halloween filming.
Right.
Oh, really?
Right.
Did you break your nose during filming?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes sense. It was like when Jennifer Aniston had the deviated septum she needed.
By the way, I have a deviated septum. I've never had a nose job.
I know. I have one too. But Kim Richards practically was like, I'm going to need some opioids, so I'm heading in to get my nose job. Blatantly got a nose job for no reason.
Yeah.
And was like sitting up in the bed, high as fuck, and was like, it was so great. It was like, oh, she did that so she could get pain meds.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, so let's see who else we're going to talk about here. We got Miami covered. All right, Beverly Hills. So let's talk about this dinner party. So everybody is saying that they think Sutton lit up that joint at the dinner party because she's trying to be like, throw it back to the original dinner party from hell with the fake cigarette with Alison Dubois.
Oh.
Because she kept saying, Kyle said I could do this. Kyle said, I was like, first of all, it's so rude to light up a joint in the middle of somebody's house.
I agreed. Inside. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And I smoke.
Yeah.
Right. Cigarettes. And yes. I would never, even if other people were smoking.
Yeah.
When other people are smoking, I'm like, have a thing where it's like, I don't know, there's something about lighting up any sort of joint or cigarette or anything in an enclosed room with a group of people, because you can't even light anything outside without somebody giving you shit.
Yeah, right.
Like, can you blow that somewhere else, please? It's getting near my food. And you're like, I'm outside. Like, but okay. Yeah. And I just couldn't believe how absolutely and utterly rude that was.
I think it's funny that Kyle, now obviously it's legal now, but let's all harken back to Kyle and her old nose.
Yep.
In fucking Amsterdam or wherever they were. I mean, Amsterdam's like AKA marijuana. That's the name of the
Marijuana
city.
dam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Weed
where
dam.
it was invented. It's like you
That's where
and
it's
you're.
invented.
I mean, it's like, of course you're gonna smoke.
Well, that's why people, before it was legal anywhere, you would go there for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
They're eating the brownies or smoking or whatever.
Yeah.
And even Lisa, of
Yeah.
course, Lisa Vanderpump, we know she's done every drug under the sun, bless her heart. And so, and Kyle throws the fit over Brandy Glanville. That's when
Right.
Brandy slapped Lisa Vanderpump. That season and that trip. And she's like, I don't want my daughter seeing this. And, and she's like, Miss Priss. Now all of a sudden, you still have this kid. I mean, I'm pretty sure Portia is in like junior high.
She's like 13, yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It's legal. That's going to stink up your entire your downstairs.
Yeah.
It smells so strong. You can't even air it out. I mean, it's harder to get out of your house than cigarette smoke.
For sure.
You know what, Portia's going to walk in with like her 13-year-old boyfriend and be like, oh, my mom had a party. And we know Maurizio's been like
blazing
clearly,
through.
like
just blazing.
Trees upon trees.
But he's
still
doing lines and fucking.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's funny that now all of a sudden, and it wasn't that, I didn't think it was a great strategic move on Sutton's part, even though she's like loving her being the star of the season, because she herself, prior to Denise taking the crown, was kooky, are you high, lady?
Yeah.
Last week.
Right.
I mean, it was like, is she on something? I mean,
right.
Now Denise has distracted from that, but you're the whole conversation about her in the kitchen with Kyle. Name one.
Name one.
It was name them.
Oh, name
was like she's
name them.
So now she's smoking the joint, and it's like, okay, well now we all think you're smoking and drinking before you shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, John Hill, who's a person in recovery, he's like, that's pills, girls. He was like, that is slurred speech. He was like,
Denise or Sutton?
Denise.
Okay.
Because I was like, what do you think that was about? He goes, that girl was fucked up. He was like, he was like, with all the mouth movement and all that. And then when Dorit was like, hey, I think your coat's on backwards. She's like, I know what you're doing.
The anger seemed like alcohol. I think like she, if she's doing pills, because she likes to drink. She's open about drinking tequila, and she likes to whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Like, and so it seemed to me that it was a combo. Like she'd had a tequila or she had a drink, because you could be on opioids, and we've all tried them. And from I don't find they're so sedative. I don't know where anger is coming from unless you're adding alcohol. So
he felt it was a combo, is what he felt.
Yeah, the combo. I think it's a combo.
The same with Meredith on Salt Lake City. He was like, she said, she accidentally took 2 sleeping pills. And he was like, and then like she just could not pull it together to get out of the bed.
Yep.
And she was so despondent over her bathtub, she had to take to an IV for. I was like, man, I just want somebody to come in my house and give me an IV.
I know, every day.
I was like,
and in the by the way, with Salt Lake City, the description that Peacock wrote was like, Meredith falls ill because she's not given a bathtub. I mean, it was so shady. It was like chef's kiss on how shady the description of the episode was.
Yeah.
I do want to say that in regards just to that, I guess, I don't know if Shed, we know that Shed doesn't do Beverly Hills because that's Evolution.
Right.
Who does Vanderpump and OC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Shed is who Bethany's like specifically talking about with the reality reckoning.
Right.
And I think that Shed does Salt Lake City, and I think they do New York, but I'm pretty sure they do Salt Lake City. And I thought it was curious. Right now, Salt Lake City is the only one it just got very, very interesting. I think it's the most interesting one going on. But Meredith, the queen of like her getting like a British accent when she's...
Again, John Hill's like, that's pills and alcohol combined when all of a sudden your speech is so slurred that you're British. Yeah.
Her husband and you're weird Southern.
Yeah.
I mean...
You can leave. Security. Security.
Yeah. You can leave. Like, what? I didn't threaten your family.
Like we're on the Gilded Age now.
She like curiously just had hot tea when they were in the weird cave.
I saw that. I was like, what's happening? I was like, is that hot tea? Is it coffee with Bailey's? Like, what's going on?
No, I think Shed was like, one, they knew she was going to get confronted by, Angie or whatever. I think they knew the whole cast was about to confront her. And I think they knew they were in a weird cave with like a grate that looked very dangerous.
Yeah.
In Bermuda, not up to like American regulations on safety.
Yeah.
And I think that they were like, we about to get sued. Okay. So they, I think, asked her I think they told her, if you have had any prescription meds at all, because she had been sick because she fell ill because she didn't get given a bathtub.
Because she got consumption after I didn't have a bathtub. Am I right? Yeah.
So I think they said, if you've had any prescription meds at all, we have to ask you not to drink, because they knew she was going to get confronted. So she orders the hot tea and makes a big production about it. And I was like, oh, I think the reality reckoning is like rearing its head. I really do think that Bethany is like, I think she's moving the needle with that. And I think if anyone should be thanking her, it's Meredith. God knows if I was on a show like that, I would need them to be like, oh, we're going to need you not to drink, hon.
Yeah.
Because you're
that's what I said too. I was like, I think that my thing, like with the Denise or the Meredith, whatever, if you know you're going to be on camera, you know you're going to be filmed, sure, you might, before you go to a party, be like, all right, I'm going to have like one drink before I go, because probably I might not even get a drink at this party. Like, it's going to be filmed and all that. But I would try very hard to keep my wits about me, knowing that I'm going to be filmed for the next 4 hours. Or it's a marathon, not a sprint. And
you get nervous. People with social anxiety, I can only speak for myself. I know for sure I would be tempted, and all the time, overdrink, because it's going to a party with a lot of people and you're getting social anxiety, and somebody's going to say something weird to you probably.
Right. I think there's like, don't you think there's like a thing of, you think that it's relaxing you and making it easier for you, but ultimately what's happening with Meredith, let's say, or anyone on the shows who are drinking too much, they just go past the point where you're blacked out, and now you're reacting in a blackout state, which generally leads to irrational, angry, weird, like not cohesive responses.
Yeah, I mean, like Denise could not land that plane for anything, and we've all been there where you're like,
of course,
about 5 minutes ago I had that point, but it's gone.
Right.
And so now I got to try to remember what that point was, and so now I'm just going to say, you know what you did, until it comes back to me, because I can't fucking remember what my point was.
Plus, she went in there. Plus, she went in feeling mad, like, or upset, or hurt, or resentful. It's like and now you're going to walk in with that already, and now you're blacked out.
Yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah,
you're fucked. So
I would like to have had more Camille at that party. More Camille. Camille.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, poor God.
Julie's like, fucking Faye Resnick pipes up, and Julie's like, didn't you fuck OJ? That was my favorite part of the episode, and it wasn't even in. Only I got to enjoy it.
I mean, she should never talk. She never should speak. If you're going to be on, and again, perfect example, you're on a reality show you're trying to insert some morality, and ultimately the answer is, didn't you fuck OJ?
Wasn't that your best friend's husband?
Go ahead and pipe down.
You just should boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, that was you from the other room. Didn't you fuck OJ? I'm like, great. It's great.
I heard her voice and I was just like, she cannot. She cannot be. She cannot be.
I do think Denise, though, I really do like Denise. And I think she's like Arrested Development, she's still stuck on her season. And again, we watched same way we did Jersey. We caught up on all the Denise Richards seasons together because we had Housewives completely. And then we went back and watched it all.
You guys did a Bravo band for a couple of years.
Yes.
Probably 4. So we watched 4 seasons, 4 or 5 of like all the shows. So we saw all of the Denise Brandy thing and like, and Lisa Rinna in like one day. One day. And so we're the only ones probably besides Denise who remember that like it was yesterday, because we probably did that a month ago.
Yeah, right.
Coming in the show, like talking about something that happened 3 years ago. Erica's like, do you know what I have been through?
Right.
Since I talked about threesomes in front of your kids. First of all, your daughter's on OnlyFans, but that aside, her whole life has fallen apart since Eric. That wasn't even happening with Tom Girardi yet.
No, she was still pretending like that was a happy marriage where they had lots of sex.
That's
Yeah.
Well,
right.
that's the other thing too that happens in all the shows is like, don't bring up my kids, and make sure when you talk to my kids, you do it right. Okay, I don't like the way you treated my kids. Like, please.
You're right. That's another for your list. That's
Please.
another one for
Oh,
your
right.
list.
We forgot to add that.
Like
Nope.
Erica saying the shit to Garcelle's kid. Now Garcelle's like, I don't feel safe with my kid. It's like the two almost grown men. Like she reacted. She was drunk. I'm sure he can live with it. Why don't you like toughen him up a little bit rather than I can't with the hypocrisy or the what's the word? It's like the preciousness of you can do anything, you can say anything, you can shit on people, you can destroy their lives, but don't talk about my kids. And talk to my kids. Like,
y'all know what time of year it is. It's the time of the year where everywhere you go, people are taking your picture. You're taking holiday pictures. You're taking selfies with your friends. You're going out to dinner. You're taking pictures. You're posing with your dog. Well, maybe that's just me, but everywhere is pictures, pictures, pictures with friends, with family. And if you don't feel great about how you look in these pictures, it can be kind of traumatizing. You're like, oh my gosh, I thought I looked great, but look at that. So if you want to look great in all your pictures, you want your skin to look perfect, this is where Apostrophe comes in. I'm so excited that we're partnering with Apostrophe. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you to experts in the dermatology field. They're going to give you a customized treatment plan for you. I am focusing on my brown spots and smoothing my skin out. Other people are going to be focusing on acne, and Apostrophe can treat all kind of acne from head to toe, whatever acne you got. So you'll get oral medication, you'll get topical medication, whatever you need, they're here to help you. You go on and do an online consultation, and a skincare expert is going to get back to you and recommend what you need for your particular issue that you're having. They're also going to give you sunscreen, or they'll recommend a sunscreen. I got the sunscreen. I freaking love it. Freaking love it. It's going to be great for my upcoming trip. So after you talk to the dermatological, that's easy for me to say, dermatological team, then you're going to get your tailored treatment plan, and then you're going to sign up for your first visit. Now, when you go in to sign up for your first visit, you're going to use our code. We have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5. You guys, it's only $5. You're going to go to apostrophe.com/pinkshade and use our code pinkshade. That's a savings of $15 when you use our code. This code is only available to Pinkshade listeners. So here's what you do. Get started. Go to apostrophe.com/pinkshade and click get started, and then use our code pinkshade to sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you, Apostrophe, for sponsoring this episode. Remember how hammered Kyle was at that party when she was like grabbing Sutton and she was like, stop it. She said that, I've seen an interview with her where she said watching that back and seeing how she acted at that party really kind of kicked her into being like, I shouldn't drink anymore. Like, that's really bad.
I would think that would happen.
Well, we know that it was Ozempic that made her not drink, but I've heard her say that too. And then I thought that it was a good strategic move to blame that party, because let's not also forget when Garcelle said one of the best lines of all of the seasons ever, Beverly Hills, when she was cleaning the floor with her coochie. And then they showed, did you see in the splits, sweeping the floor with the coochie?
Yep.
And the hair.
I mean,
she did also have another good line of,
oh, no. Yeah, when Dorit had all her, Dorit had got robbed and still had all her jewelry, and then she took a sip of it.
Yeah, that was really good. I was like, all right, this is the Garcelle I need.
Yeah.
This is what I like. And I like that Erica is a calmer Erica. It must be all those hormone treatments that made her lose 40 pounds that's making her so calm.
The hormone treatments help you lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. Those hormone those Ozempics really help you lose weight.
I really am liking this sort of how she's calmer. She's not like flipping out on Denise. She's just like, okay, I'm sorry. It's like, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Whatever Denise said.
If you're smart and you're a person who has any self-awareness at all, you do make amendments when you watch yourself on TV. I'm sure. They go, all right, I got to do this for this season. And at least you go in trying, I would think. But
yeah, I think so too.
Throw away Garcelle's book with like the fax machine. And then like So I wonder if that's like between them.
That's true.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was funny with like an old timey like
Yeah.
phone. Yeah, with like a fax machine attached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big, huge fan of Sutton. I mean,
I am because she's so ridiculous. She's
so
just
you, like if she's the only one really doing anything outlandish, though, right? They're all pretty much
trying to keep it together.
keeping it together, trying to. So what's
yeah.
Denise coming in for the, the
Yeah.
guest star of like, you know what you did, or I know what you're doing and all that. I
Yeah.
mean,
I was so afraid she was going to fall on the way to the Sprinter van or whatever. She had those high heels and those really long pants. I was like, oh God, she's going to trip. Please, somebody, don't let her fall on her face.
but then the next day she was fine.
She was
And
fine.
looked
Yeah,
great.
she was fine.
She'd had an IV, I think. Somebody had
Oh,
come
yeah.
over, given her an IV in the bed and perked her right up.
That's better, right.
Oh, for the Salt Lake City ladies, all this information about what's her nuts, Monica, and all these, the thing came out about the lawsuit that she's changed her name a few times. I think she's been married a few times, so whatever. That she has had this lawsuit with Beauty Lab and Laser, and that people are trying to make you believe that like when they're in Bermuda, Heather finds out about it, and that's like this big scene that we've been seeing teased. But I don't think so, because I think that Heather, yes, she owns Beauty Lab and Laser with that partner, but I think if somebody didn't pay their $200 bill, I don't think she's in the accounting department like, let me see who didn't pay their bill. I think an accounting department handles that shit, and I just don't think this is going to be like her, like, I can't believe it's her, and like crying on her balcony that somebody sued her for $200 for botched lip injections. So what is it? What do you think that Heather is so upset about on her balcony, telling the cameraman to get out and all that?
We haven't seen that preview.
Well, no, but I'm assuming if we're going from the dinner to Heather could be upset at Whitney. She could be upset because Whitney told her to shut the fuck up. Heather cannot let it go.
But we think they get into like almost like a physical thing next week.
So maybe it's that.
Time.
Yeah.
I mean, Heather could be, I don't know, maybe she's finally realizing she's in love with Lisa Barlow. She really needs to look at herself and do some serious soul searching as to why she constantly needs to undermine, yet control and have and own Lisa Barlow because she's obsessed with her and wants to make sweet, sweet lesbian love to her. Could be that's why she's upset. Maybe she's, I don't know.
I mean, I've been liking Heather a little more this season.
Yeah.
She did fall off for me. I wasn't into like Bad Weather. I didn't like her when Rihanna tweeted her. I didn't like her. She popped off into like ego land, and I wasn't at all. She does strike me as I mean, I do believe she probably has like the highest IQ of them all. I think she's like highly intelligent.
Yeah.
So I do go back and forth because she'll say really, really, really thoughtful, insightful things, and she's funny.
Yep.
So I got handed to her for like bringing it back around to where just she knows the assignment, and I think she's been funny and good, and she is obsessed with Lisa Barlow. That's the Bad Weather that we want. I mean, that's I think because we love Lisa.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I met her I'd met her at BravoCon, and then we were just like happened to be in the airport together, leaving Vegas. And so she like rode the little tram with us because AGK and her husband had like left her. She's like, I don't know where they went. She's like, do you know how to get? I was like, come on. So she went with us. We had a great time chatting with her. And then Ingrid, my producer who you've met, she had already gone ahead of me because she had clear and I had TSA pre-check, whatever. So she was ahead of me. So I'm walking to the gate and I hear her yell, and she's over at the Amex lounge, of which I don't have Amex, so I don't go to the Amex lounge. And I hear she's like, I'm almost to the front. And then I look over, and Angie K and the husband were like waving over to Heather too. So we all kind of went in at the same time, but they didn't really see us. So when we went up there and we sat our stuff down for a few minutes, I went over, I go, we're not stalking you. We're legitimately in here. And she's like, who let them in here? Who let the riffraff? And she was hilarious. And then she was talking to Ingrid about our poker chips that we gave out at BravoCon. She was like, oh, you're like a marketing genius. She like sat down and was chatting with us. She was just completely normal and nice. And so once you meet somebody in person like that, and they are normal and nice like a regular person, you're like, no, it's hard for me on the show to be like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
it's hard for you on the show than to.
Well, we love Teresa, Judice, and
Yep.
we'll never forsake her, and even Melissa, and they don't even get along.
Yep.
Yeah.
And anyone we've met, it's like, yeah, they become human, and you don't.
They're not like just the cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Until you meet them, they're just characters on a TV show.
Yeah.
So I can spout out and be like, what a dumb bitch or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not real, not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't mean to, I'm not trolling them on social
Right.
media, talking
Right.
about whatever, doing some personal attack. But yeah, if I'm talking about them like I talk about a character on TV, then we meet them and then you cannot ever do that again.
I know. But I feel like Heather kind of, like you're saying, I think she did get, she did get maybe a little inflated, and she definitely hitched her horse to the wrong wagon with Jen Shaw. And then so I think she did get knocked down a few pegs and is a little more humble now, and is just sort of like participating in the show, but not trying to be the show. You know, she's participating as much as everybody else. And so I'm obsessed with Lisa Barlow too. I mean, yeah. Lisa Barlow's in your sleep.
Could be funny because they're funny. Because
Yeah.
they're both funny.
Yep.
Maybe Lisa's more accidentally funny.
Yes.
But and I like Heather, and I like that she I remember seeing her on Watch What Happens Live, which we do not watch, but she said like, this was like a few seasons ago, probably her second season. Andy Cohen showed her something back, and she was like, I don't know why I said that, and I feel like I don't feel that way, and then I get into situations and I say things that I regret later. And the way she described, saying something that she wished that she didn't, or she tells her, she said that too, she'll tell herself like, don't say things like that. And then she'll get things and then say them and be like, oh God, and then they'll do that. They don't mean half of what they say.
Yeah.
They get wrapped up in the moment like, well, this would be funny. And then it comes back to bite them in the ass. Like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I do it daily. I shouldn't have said that.
Yep.
Shouldn't have said that.
Probably I drink so much.
Just probably in the last 50 minutes, I probably said lots of things I shouldn't have said.
Me too.
Now, we didn't like Monica, but we love her now since she asked when Jeff tried to talk shit about her, and then she said, who even is that? Is he even on Bravo?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
And she has I think she's really pretty, so that always helps. I like to just watch her and look at her. And I like her kids. She's doing it. I mean, she's doing the heavy lifting that one has to do on your.
Yeah, she is. She is. And that thing that if you watch this week, the thing with her, her mom is obviously a thirst bucket and dying to be on the show. And so like her mom, she said like her mom was going to come to Bermuda on the trip with them to see the family and stuff. And then when she told her mom she couldn't come, then the mom fucked it up for her. So she couldn't go see the family.
Yeah.
I was like, that mom is really.
Do you think production told her she couldn't come? Or
why would her mother get to come on the trip? I mean, that would be weird anyway.
Yeah.
Why you invite your mom on the trip? That's like, who's doing that?
I'm surprised the mom didn't stay at her own place. I feel like it was production that was like, no.
Yeah.
I felt like it was even production related of why the family maybe didn't want her to come. Like they didn't want to film it maybe. I don't know.
It could be. It could be.
Want to pay them. They maybe wanted to get money. And clearly going to bring the cameras if Lisa Barr was, because the rule is you have to have another person there with you. So,
okay.
Then she invites Lisa, which seemed kind of strange. And then, so they were clearly going to film it. And maybe the family was like, yeah. And then they should have paid them. I mean, of course.
Yeah. But probably not. We should get Bethany on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like the whole thing. I've been wondering even too with Miami. I'm like, wow, they really never changed those opening titles. Like same ass, that big ass dress that Lars is in.
Yep.
Yeah, it says something like "fuck off" or something on the waistband.
Yeah, it says a message on the belt.
Yeah,
and
that's been like 3 seasons now or something. However many we're in. Yeah,
I'll go into a thing where I'm like, are they really trying to save that budget? And then I think they do Beverly Hills each year, don't they? They redo the like diamond.
Yes.
Yeah, because their taglines are different.
Well, they changed the taglines, but they're just keeping the same dresses in the same shoot on Miami.
I wish when you guys were at BravoCon, you would have gone and done the Housewives tagline thing where you walk up and it would have been great. So if you guys go next year, you have to do that.
What's your tagline?
I don't have a tagline. Literally, I was like, well, I'm so boring. I don't have a fucking tagline. So Ingrid was trying to think of something that was interesting
You
for
just
me.
did that.
Yeah, what about that? That's your tagline.
I'm so boring.
So you go,
I don't have a tagline.
you go, you walk. So now your back is to the camera. You turn
Yeah.
around, then you walk and you go, I'm so boring. I don't have a tagline. Right?
Yeah. Or I would probably do it something like, because I like to go, they call me a skinny bitch, and that's because I'm anorexic and a bitch. So, I'm boring. And I am. And that's why I have no tagline or something like that.
Oh, that's
Still have to
good.
be sassy.
That's
but
good.
I like I'm so boring I don't have a tagline.
That's
I think
good.
that's great.
That's good.
Julie, do you have a tagline?
I do. Mine is,
Oh, we're turning. Okay.
I'm a woman.
That's your tagline.
That's mine.
Yeah.
That's my whole tagline.
Because you're supposed to say something that's like a little funny, but a little surprising. So
Yeah.
that's where you're going with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just tried to put it all into one.
Well, the thing is when you go to that experience to do it, they have them pre-done and they do the voiceover, like Lisa Barlow going, everybody's obsessed with me, or whatever the tagline is. Or if you want to do your own,
You can pick your favorite, because our favorite tagline of all time is the word on the street is I'm the word on the street. And that's Giselle season of whatever, season probably 1.
Yeah. And then but every year she played off of that, like the word on the street is I'm still the word on the street.
We love that. Love. I wish she never stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But
well, it's like Kyle would always be in Beverly Hills, and then she would say something about being rich. But no, you could pick one and they give you like 20 to pick from.
Okay.
And then you pick it and then they played that din, 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 when they played the music, and you did 2 different things to film. Or if you wanted to do your own, you could, and they would like put it in type, like on the bottom of the screen, and then not play someone else's. I was like, well, that's not as fun.
Oh, it wouldn't do a voice?
It wouldn't do a voice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they need that
next year.
Because you should be able to say your own.
Yeah, just be like, give me one take, I can do it, and then just put it in. They have such a production thing going on with it.
A long line for that?
Well, we went on that last day and did it, and there wasn't a long line because Sunday is the lowest attendance day. So anything you want to do, any of those experiences, like wait till that day. Otherwise, it is a long line. It is. Like, you're like, I don't want to stay here for 20 minutes, and then the longer you stay, they're like, this is so stupid and cheesy, and why am I doing it?
Embarrassing. The longer
I'm embarrassed for myself that
yeah.
But Ingrid has a great line because she's a violinist. She plays fiddle and violin, and she teaches and all this, and she does trapeze, and she just does everything actually. And her line was, I may play the fiddle, but I won't get played.
Good one.
Yes,
good one. That's giving good. You.
Yeah,
that's the don't fuck with me one. Good one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
This year is like, my mission is Lisa.
Oh yeah,
and I love that for me, or something like. It's the way, like I've heard it 100 times, and I just now realized, oh, she's doing that because her son's going on
a mission. Sometimes you don't get it till the end of the season.
I think it's because she's not saying it like.
She doesn't put the right inflection on the right word.
Right emphasis on the right syllable. It's like,
yes.
She needs to say, my mission is Lisa instead of like God, but she doesn't. She's like, my mission is Lisa. And I don't know. Oh. And I love that for me.
That's like Emily from OC. Hers was like, I could go to any party, but I'd rather have a taco. What?
There you go.
What does that even mean? Like, that is your tagline? I'd rather have a taco? Like, what? Are they saying you're fat? Like, that's horrible.
And do you think they go in and they're like, because if anyone would say they didn't want to do it, it's Lisa. Like, I'm really not comfortable with this, guys. Do you think some people say no?
Oh, yeah.
Options. I've always wondered, do they give them options?
I think they could come from what I heard Lisa Rinna say one time, that she got one of hers from a listener, like wrote in, or a viewer or whatever, and they ended up using it. But because you could come in with your own, and then they give you a couple of choices, and then they pick. So you really don't know. You'll be like, oh, that was stupid. Yeah, you really don't know.
Stuck with it.
You're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, I have a small bone to pick with you guys.
Go ahead.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So a while back, I was listening to you guys, and because on your Patreon, you do a lot of pirated music, which I thoroughly enjoy. And and I love it. I love it because I always hear new things. So you were you played a song, and I wrote you guys. I was like, oh my God, I don't know who that girl was. That's fine. But you should have played Billie Eilish because you were playing like angry breakup song, right? And you
Yeah.
guys wrote back, we love Billie Eilish, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, and then this week you played Billie Eilish, and I felt like I put that nugget in your head, and I just wanted some credit.
You think that you told us about Billie Eilish?
No. I think that you knew about Billie Eilish, but you were like, oh, I just watched the documentary, and so that's why I want to play it.
Documentary in my head.
Yes. And didn't that make you have a new love for her? I love Billie Eilish so much.
Yes and no. I mean, she had started getting on my nerves, to be quite honest. And her, I guess this whole like thing with like her sexuality was kind of annoying. That was what really made me watch the doc. But I remembered that you sang the documentary when I saw her and thought, God, she's annoying now that she's like bisexual or whatever. And it's like, bitch, you know you're gay, but whatever. So did watch it, and I did think of you, thinking, I wonder if this is like what made Mary Payne love her. But I mean, we like loved her. I would say we're just like average fans.
Yeah.
But
and I only know her because of you.
It made me we heard her on Howard Stern, which we enjoyed, and
when her parents came on too, wasn't that amazing? Yeah.
And then she found out in real time that she was like in vitro fertilization, which I thought was great.
I know. She's like, what?
I think that it was really interesting to me, like that she took her driver's test in like a Toyota. I think it was what it really did was make me I loved her parents a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
And that I think that Justin Bieber, the most touching thing of the documentary was I thought was the Justin Bieber stuff. I thought that was like pretty powerful and very interesting. So yeah, I wouldn't have like thought about watching the documentary if it wasn't for you.
Okay, well, I just wanted a smidge of credit. And I really almost today wore my t-shirt, don't need your notes, because I was like, here's a don't need your notes.
Well, I definitely recommend the documentary because it's pretty interesting how they were making millions and millions of dollars and still living in that house. And
I know the parents live on a pullout. I mean, the parents sleep on the pullout in the den, and then the kids have the bedrooms.
Oh my God.
And
yeah,
I haven't watched it.
And they record everything. It's crazy to me how all that music got recorded too.
Yeah. And how he would go in the kitchen and be like, Mom, please help me get Billy to record. Like we've got this deadline with this album, and like she won't do it. And she's like, oh, I'm so tired of writing music. Oh my gosh. Yeah. She's like 16. She's got this like super toxic, like 20-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, that's interesting that your parents are just like, whatever. She's 16. The guy's like, looked like he was like 30. Yeah. And then he came backstage at Coachella, and she's playing Coachella, and she had her hair down. He was like, oh, I like it when you do like the little buns. And she's like, okay. She went in the other room and like changed it for him. And it's really, and in that documentary, she talks about how she's like very straight and like wished that she liked girls because her life would be easier. She talks about that in the documentary a little bit because she has that song, Wish You Were Gay. Like wishing
it was about him.
Yeah. Several songs she has about that guy.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I wonder as she's gotten older and not just like 15, 16 years old, as she's like matured into a woman, she's like, yeah, maybe I am, you know? And I think that she said it kind of in an article. And then of course, people are going to ask her about it on a red carpet now that she's over 21. When she was 19, they're not going to ask her, but now they are.
Yeah. I think she was really lonely and wasn't going to find a boy that would be probably as codependent as she really needed.
Mm-hmm. Because that guy is some sort of music artist, that guy.
Yeah. And he's an idiot. I guess boys don't want to be like a house husband, but I don't know why. I'll go right on tour with you, bitch.
Seem like a pretty good life.
Yeah. She'll find out soon enough that women are just as annoying as men.
Yeah, I think that anybody can be bad in a relationship, no matter men
or
women.
Everybody's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not so happy about Billie Eilish from a mother standpoint of like, you know, now she's got like the gold stuff in her teeth and all that. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I do wish that, I mean, I liked it too. That first album is really interesting how the best stuff on the album, because he's really obviously so talented, the brother.
Yes.
But the best parts of the songs came directly from her, and you can see it in the documentary. Like they made sure to put in like the evolution of Bad Guy, and that was
yeah.
she turned that song into Bad Guy.
Oh.
The beat was there, but the words, he was saying my little criminal. She turned it into I'm the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
Oh.
It's really cool. Like all of her things like that. You see how gifted they both are, but the special thing that makes her the superstar, you can see what it is because she's a genius. I mean,
and I think it's interesting if you watch the David Letterman's got some show, and I don't even know what it's on. It's on Netflix or whatever. But because he was interviewing Billy and Phineas, I watched it. I've never watched him with anybody else because I think he's a creep. So, but he interviewed them and interviewed them, mostly her, and then interviewed them together in Phineas's studio at his house now. I'm sure it's somewhere fabulous. And it was like his studio looks way different from when they used to record in their bedroom, right? And it was so interesting showing how literally word by word by word of the songs, how he produces it. Like take number 12 had the best these 2 words. Take number 8 had the best these 4 words, and putting it together.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is how you do it, and that just shows what a great producer he is. But then it just shows how talented she is, that when she does sing it, it actually just sounds exactly the same. So to our ear, it doesn't sound any different, but to his, it's so.
Yeah. Well, this week on Patreon, I played Nicki Minaj, and her first album on Pink Friday 2 is a Billie Eilish sample that Phineas produced.
So all comes
credit for that.
Like I say on this podcast all the time, it all comes back to Billie Eilish.
Yeah,
people are so sick of me talking about Billie Eilish. I'm like, until I get everybody on board, we're still going to talk about it. Tell everybody where they can find you guys, your podcast, your Patreon, your videos that you're doing now, all of it.
We go to our website, julieandbrandy.com, or you can just Google Julie and Brandy podcast. Our podcast is called Dumb Gay Podcast. It does have its current events, it does. We try not to talk too much about, inside Washington politics. We're trying to just do anything,
We're trying to really just keep it light, like Israel, Palestine,
right?
Just, like, not divisive stuff, abortion.
Yeah.
There's just some of the debates going on, just light stuff. And then
easy breezy.
But then also, in addition, things such as Felicity Huffman, or stupid shit for Bradley Cooper's prosthetic nose and Maestro. Like, these things are things people are talking about.
Yeah.
So we're going to just,
We're kind of just thinking next year's an election year. We have a whole year. It's going to be so gross.
Oh, I'm so not looking forward to that. Yeah, I agree.
And I think we're going to, I don't even know what we're going to, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to fucking be involved in like endless debates. And
why don't you put it as the politics as a separate section on your Patreon? Like it's another level, and people can pay like the extra $1 to hear the politics part, and then you can kind of keep it easy breezy, genocide in Palestine.
Yeah, I mean, we do like the Patreon to be no politics at all.
Yeah.
So because we don't like to put any work into the Patreon, and the Patreon is video. It comes out 3 times a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have a video option for people who like video. But I think we're just going to figure out. I don't think we really move the needle with elections. People who listen are already going to, we're pretty liberal. So I think we'll wait and see what happens in November. And at that point, if we got to get back in to politics.
Yeah.
Then we will, but I think it's going to be pretty. And also what sucks is that movies always suck in an election year. They're always so dark and hopeless. Like, it's just
never thought of that.
Yeah. If you like remember that movie There Will Be Blood with like Daniel Day-Lewis? It was like about oil.
Okay. Yeah.
It was, or No Country for Old Men. Those were all the movies that came out like that year of the election year. It's like, ugh, just really hopeless. It's always like a really hopeless year for movies and like creative endeavors, and just I'm not looking forward to it. I really am not. Next year is going to be gross. And you're on Facebook. People can go to our, we have a Facebook called All Things Julie and Brandy. We don't,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm imagining people take breaks from Facebook on in an election year too.
Yeah. Last time election rolled around, I went through and I was just like, mute, block, delete. And then I went to my high school reunion after that, or maybe it was 2 elections ago, whatever it was. And there's some people there. I was like, oh, so-and-so didn't even say hi to me. And I realized I think I just fully yelled at them on Facebook and then blocked them.
Yeah.
Like years before, I was like, what is wrong with you? This is a lie. How can I? And then I was like, I need to I'm 50 years old. I need to step away and relax. I'm not going to change their mind. I don't need to yell at them about this stupid thing. I'm always like, Snopes.com, look it up. It's not true. Not true. And then you're just like, I need to, they're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change their mind. I need to just block them and look at puppy pictures.
As someone who's been on Facebook during, like, you know, election interference and Hillary and Trump and the whole thing. Do you, and I mean, I don't know, because you were on it even the time with Biden 4 years ago. Are people, like, is it different than it was? Or are people still falling for fake memes and
the people that post the fake news, like the literal fake news, like Jeff Bezos is not going to send you $100 Amazon gift card if you click this link, like that kind of stuff, right? You know, there's a new algorithm in Facebook, so if you don't like my post, you won't see my post anymore. Like, that's not true. And then you're like, that happens daily, and a lot of times it's people that are, you know, over 75, and they get on once a day, and they're like, oh my goodness, my daughter said I should post this, you know, and then you're like, okay, that you can understand. But people that are like my age and younger, and they post things about, you know, ivermectin, the dog antibiotic is going to, or the dog is for the flea and tick or whatever it's for that I get my dog, is going to cure your COVID. Like, now come on.
Wow.
Come on. And these are like smart people that I know. I'm like, oh, and that just, and then I just start like, I want to block so much that I only literally see dogs. I want to see your dog. And if you've got a funny video of a dog, even better.
Yeah.
Now, I want to see some pictures of like your kid graduated high school. That's good. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's all I really want. That's all I really want to see.
Seriously. Yeah. Social media now has turned into like animals and recipes.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh my God. I love a good recipe.
That's it. That's it.
I don't even love cooking.
Those are
and
lies
even those are lies.
Talk about fake news.
Yeah, even
your
those are
salmon
lies.
balls don't work.
Okay. I might get some good idea from the Asian peanut noodles, but they don't come out the way that they look in your video.
No.
I mean, God damn. Like,
salmon balls. Okay. Yeah, that was good. We can end on salmon balls.
Okay.
Everybody follow Julie and Brandy and go listen to their amazing podcast. And please join their Patreon, because this past week you did a whole thing about the Stern show. And as I mean, I'm a Stern fan, but I'm not like a diehard. So I didn't know like all the players, but I loved hearing like the clips and you guys talking about the difference between that experience versus your experience on a recent talk show that you were a part of. And that was a very interesting comparison. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm enjoying your blind items as well, because I love how that video of that girl that burned her hand. I was like, oh, that's an alien.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Yeah. We let people, and in January, we're doing Patreon Idol for all the people.
Patreon's Got Talent.
Patreon's Got Talent. People who like to sing. We did it last year.
Okay.
And people sent in songs, and there's people who listen to our Patreon who were on American Idol.
And The Voice and Star Search.
Okay. And then what do they win? If they win,
nothing.
Oh,
so they don't win anything. But the response and it's just like, it's almost just like getting to know your listeners in a weird way. It's really one of the most.
They write their own intro.
Yeah. Yeah. And now they're going to do video.
And make up stories about how their family barn burned down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love it.
A little stand up, a little poetry, a little this, a little that. And it's just like all the listeners getting to do, it's like a talent show for the listeners. It's great. It's
really fun.
Fun. Yeah.
And it's fun and uplifting, and you don't have to talk about genocide. It's nice.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, everybody go over to Julie and Brandy's regular podcast and then their Patreon as well. I am a video member, and so sometimes I watch the videos, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what's going on. So everybody go over there. Maybe you could submit yourself, dear listener, as a Patreon idol. Maybe you got some talent.
You should. Do it. Maybe you should.
No.
No?
Like I said, I got no tagline because I'm boring. I got no talents. It's all those things.
Mm.
All right, ladies, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Thank you, Mary Payne.
Thank you.
Bye. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.